Hello and welcome to today's video, which is a special video to introduce this lovely top, which is in the current issue of Knitting magazine, and also at the end I'll include a little blocking video for when I blocked this top a few months ago. Welcome to this video. My name is Anniken and I design knitting patterns and I teach knitting workshops, and I post videos on YouTube every Friday, plus occasional bonus videos as well. This might actually be a bonus video. I haven't decided yet. Normally I film these videos before I send the garment off, which is a few months before it's published. But when I sent this off, I was obviously too busy to record something, and it came back a few weeks ago, and the magazine came out last week. So I thought I would film a little video talking about this design now and showing you the magazine, and then include the blocking video at the end. So this design is in the current issue of Knitting magazine, which is issue 231. It's in the shops in the UK now. It's been in the shops for a week, 10 days by the time this video comes out, I think. And it is a beautiful issue. I've been away on holiday, and I just come back yesterday, and this actually arrived while I was away. So I'm really excited to actually see what's in it, because I haven't really had a chance to look at it properly yet. So we'll have a look at that together. But the theme this issue is which you might be able to tell from the cover and the cover of the colour of this top, is the Pantone colour of the year, which is Berry Perry, I think it's called. And it's a lavender colour, very pretty colour. So that's why there's all lavender stuff on the cover, and that's why this colour is the colour it is as well. Beautiful colour. So we'll take a look at the magazine in a minute, but I just want to talk a little bit about this top first. So this is a dolman sleeve top. It is knitted in two pieces. So the front is knitted in one piece and the back is knitted in front piece. We'll take a look at the back in a minute. And it is knitted from the bottom up. And when you get to the underarm, you cast on stitches for the sleeves and then knit it up. So if you wanted to adjust the sleeve length and make the sleeves longer, you would need to cast on more stitches at the underarm to make them longer. And then at the end, you pick up stitches around the edging to knit a garter stitch edging, just to neaten it all off a bit. This enables the stitch pattern to run uninterrupted across the sleeve, across the body, and then across the second sleeve. And this is a garment construction I quite like. It does reduce the amount of sewing up a little bit, I think. Well, actually, mainly the only thing it does is you don't have to set in the sleeve gap, which is the worst part of sewing up a lot of garments, in my opinion. But I do like this kind of construction method. I use it quite a lot. The lower body is in stocking stitch, and obviously there's a lace pattern on the top and the garter stitches around the edges, around the hems and around the neck edging. If you wanted to make this top longer, you could do. You just have to do the stocking stitch section longer, just add some length here. And if you want to make the sleeves longer, as I said, you just have to cast on more stitches here. But this is meant to be a kind of shorter sleeve sweater for the summer. So it's a bit of a summer top. This top is knitted in Macintosh Fabulous 4-ply, and Fabulous is a blend of British Blueface Leicester and Grade A Mulberry silk. So it's got 55% Blueface Leicester and 45% silk. And it's a beautiful yarn. I've used it before. I used it in a design for Let's Knit a few months ago, a yellow top. I think I have a video on that. I can't remember. If I do, I'll link it at the end. And I also used the DK version of this yarn in really bright, lovely green colour, which I used in combination with another Macintosh yarn called Calm for a tuck stitch cardigan, which was in Knitting magazine earlier in the year, I think, or maybe end of last year. I can't remember. But I've used this yarn a couple of times before, so I know I really like it. And I do really like wool silk blends in general. The wool and the silk just gives a lovely drape, and the silk gives the fabric just a little tiny bit of sheen without being sort of too shiny, if you like. So I really like this yarn, as you can tell, because I've used it before. Let me show you the actual model pictures. here. So that is what it looks like on the model. I'll see if I can add some of those pictures at the end. It's an elbow length sleeve, and it's just nice and relaxed and easy for the summer. But obviously you can use it in the winter as well, because it has got wool in it. It's in those 4-ply, still got a little bit of warmth in it. So I would also say that this is perfectly layered over maybe a long sleeve t-shirt in the winter as well, or maybe a red dress or something in the winter. I'm a little bit reluctant to design things that are very seasonal, because knitting takes so much time that I think it'd be nice to wear it across several seasons. And I think this will definitely, here in the UK, unless we get a heat wave, it doesn't get that warm in the summer. So I think this can actually take you through right from spring through to autumn, and then maybe layer it over something else in the winter. I do think when you're making stuff, especially knitting, which takes such a long time, it's nice to have it actually be wearable for large parts of the year. And I do really like knitting with 4-ply yarn. It's very good value for knitting with 4-ply yarns. Even if you're using a slightly more expensive yarn, which hand-dyed yarns usually are, you will pay a bit more for a hand-dyed yarn than you do for a standard kind of run-of-the-mill 4-ply yarn. But 4-ply yarn, it has got a really good meterage per 100 gram skein, so you don't actually use as much yarn as you think you might do. This top, for example, uses 3 or 4 skeins of yarn. They're 100 gram skeins, so the smaller sizes, the 2 smaller sizes uses 3 skeins, and the 3 larger sizes use 4 skeins. The pattern goes from, the actual measurements goes from 108 centimeter bust to 151 centimeter bust. And obviously it is designed to wear with a reasonable amount of ease. So the Patterns in Knitting magazine gives you like a to fit bust measurement and an actual bust measurement. And you might not like the garment to fit the way the designer intended it. So this is quite loose fitting on the model in the magazine. You might want it less loose fitting or slightly more loose fitting. So it's always a good idea to actually do your own measurements and compare them to the garment measurements and see what kind of fit you like. And that can be a little bit difficult to kind of visualize how much ease a garment has. So sometimes I think measuring things that as you make them, so when you made stuff for yourself or even commercial stuff that you like, measure it and compare it to your body measurements, and then you learn very quickly what kind of ease will look good on you and what you're comfortable with. So for example, if you, every time you knit a garment, if you measure it and then make a note of it, maybe in a notebook or a note on your phone or something, and you keep a note with your measurements at the time when you knitted it and what the fit was like, was it loose fitting, tight fitting, and how you liked it, that can quite often help you to make decisions about the future as to what kind of fit you like. Yeah, I really like this sweater. I'm really tempted to knit one for myself. I just wish I had time to do it. But if I was going to knit a sweater for myself this summer, this is the kind of sweater I would like to knit for myself. But whether I'll have time to knit it for myself is another matter. So let's take a little bit of a look at the magazine and see what else is in this issue. So it's issue 231. The design on the cover I know is from Brona Miskelly because I've seen her share about it on social media. I got a feeling that maybe both those designs on the cover are hers, but I can't remember. But it's definitely a lavender berry perry theme this month. So let's have a look and see what's in this magazine. There are some like news pages and things at the front, which I always quite like looking at because it helps you to know what's going on, new products and things. So here are some new product pages, or it's I Love Knitting, this month's Makers Must-Haves. I love looking at stuff like that because it just gives me an idea of new things. These aren't just knitting things. These are, well, there's a needle set, which look absolutely gorgeous. It's a Chador needle set from Knit Pro. I don't know if you can see that, but it looks like the needles are actually purple. I really like those. I may have to look at those. I don't need any new needles, but I may need to look at those. But there's also things like hair, no, I thought those were hair clips. They're actually stitch markers. Travel mug, flowers, jug, jewellery, homewares, candles, notebooks. So there's not just knitting stuff, but other things that you might like as well. And then there are some little stories about a couple of different yarn shops. Neither of those I've been to, so I need to look at that. Oh, and this is interesting. So there's an article. This is actually the first time I'm looking through this, because I only came home yesterday and I haven't had time to look at it yet. This is an article, an interview with Caroline Bourne of Gorgeous Yarns, who's actually based in Cornwall. And I know Caroline. She's lovely, beautiful lady, and her yarns are beautiful. She does naturally dyed yarns and she lives in Cornwall. Fortunately, she lives the other end of Cornwall to where I am, so but she's really lovely. And there's a 3-page article on her, which is really lovely, so I'm looking forward to reading that. And then there is also an interview with Emma Wood about her vegan yarn business, which is lovely. I'm looking forward to reading that as well. So a lot more kind of vegan yarns and things like that becoming popular, so it'll be interesting to see what her yarns are like. And then there's like a yarn review page, and then we got the patterns. So let's show you some of the patterns. That's really pretty, very interesting textured stitch pattern. That is by Jenny Atkinson. Then we got some shawls and a summer top. The two designs are on the cover, I think. Yes, I think those are the two on the cover, and they are both by Brona Miskelly. They are beautiful. I like how Knitting Magazine quite sometimes does that. They'll style one like a shawl or scarf with another knitwear design. I quite like that. So it shows you how you can wear them together. That shawl looks quite beautiful. I would have liked to have seen a picture of the shawl laid out a bit more so you can see the shape of it, but it looks absolutely beautiful. Then we got my pattern, of course. There we go. And then there's a hat, and again that hat is styled with my top there. So I do like how they kind of combine things. And then we got a top by Jo Allport and a cowl by Brian Smith. Pretty, very pretty. And something that's maybe a little bit more for the cooler part of the year. Then we got some more jumpers and cardigans and things. And then I really like this kind of thing that Knitting Magazine do, where they take 3 tops and then show them a different colour and also show you ideas of what you can style them with. So I quite like that. They didn't use my design this time, but they've done my design in the past. And then we got some accessories, teapot cover and a bag. So if you don't want to knit garments, there is other things as well. Some more accessories, socks and a man's sweater. It's always good to see men's sweaters. That man's sweater is actually from Drops Design. I guess is why it's not in the colour theme. And then we got a little baby design, which is also from Drops Design. That's cute. And then we got this little duckling, which is very cute. So a bit of baby stuff as well. And then there's some technique stuff, and then we got all the patterns at the back. I do like the fact that they keep all the photos of the designs at the front, and then they group all the patterns together at the back, and then it ends with the Polar Bear Town column. So I'm looking forward to reading that over this weekend. Hoping to take it a bit easy this weekend, so I'm hoping to have some time to read that. But this is my design for knitting issue 231. I will link to Knitting's website below. Macintosh Yarns, who obviously supply the yarn for this design, they always do kits on their website of the so you can buy a yarn pack if it's used in a magazine design, and their kits actually come with a print copy of the magazine. So if you haven't bought the magazine yet and you fancy buying the yarn for this, then you can go to their website. I'll link it below, and I'll link you to the page where they have the kits for the magazine designs, and you can actually buy the yarn pack to knit this, and it includes a print copy of the magazine, which is great, especially if you buy it too late to actually buy the magazine in the shops. It's quite nice so you can get the yarn pack with the magazine as well. And the design that I did for Let's Knit a few months ago, which is a yellow top in the same yarn, is also still on that page as well, so you can have a look at that if you fancy that instead. So I will link to that below, and I will also link to Knitting Magazine website, As I said, it is in the shops in the UK at the moment. You can probably buy the magazine on the knitting website as well. I'm not sure, but I'm sure you can, or other places online. So if you're not in the UK, and if you live somewhere else in the world and you have bought knitting before and you know where you can get it in your country, do leave a comment below, because I always feel bad when I'm doing stuff about British magazines if it's not available elsewhere, but that's not my decision, unfortunately. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I will leave you now with a blocking video, and then I'll come back and say goodbye at the end. So thank you very much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. And if you turn on your notification bell, you will be notified every time I upload a video, which is usually on Fridays, but I'm thinking best time to throw in the occasional bonus video as well. I also have been trying to upload a few shorts lately, so they're just like short little snippet of less than a minute. I uploaded a few when I was in Spain recently of me knitting in various places, so I hope you enjoyed those videos as well. Thank you for watching, I really appreciate it, and I will see you next time.